it must be hereditary because she took a few of my first lines out there. I'm kind of upset about that. And apparently, the rabbit holes and all that is hereditary. I blame my father. All right. So what I did was I went ahead and drafted this last night until about 4 o'clock in the morning to try to save you guys some time. So bear with me. And that's going to be in there because I wrote it down too. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Please bear with me. As most of you know, I'm Mary's son, James. For those of you who didn't know, I also sell cars. Hashtag James is my car guy. Shameless plug there. Checking the temperature of the room, make sure everybody's good. I got plate frames out in the car if you guys need one. And my mom would appreciate it. She gets referrals. And I really want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time out of your day to come celebrate my mother's life. Again, my sister's taking my damn lines. Until this exact moment in time, I've lived my entire life. I'm gonna get it. Just give me a second. Okay. I lived my entire life with no fear. Here's a rabbit hole, damn it. And it's not just because my dad is bigger than your dad and my uncles are here and I don't got to worry about it that way. And I lived my life with no fear until this moment because my mom always, no matter what, assured me everything's going to be all right. I never had anything to worry about. No matter how many times I was arrested, how many stupid choices I've made throughout the years, my mother was always by my side to support me. By the way, I wasn't arrested that many times. Maybe I was. Who knew drag racing's illegal, right? I didn't know it was illegal. Maybe I did. But now that I have that out of my system, okay, it's out of my system. Maybe it's not. Jesse, nope. Moving on. My mother, your sister, your aunt, your niece, your friend, your Grammy. She was my best friend. I have a lot of my I have a lot of my friends here right now. And between yesterday and today, I don't tell you guys enough. I love you guys so much. And I'm not talking about just my family. I mean, the support from everybody here. How much you guys loved my mother and respected her. And how much she loved being around you guys. You guys have no idea. But I have some of the best friends that anybody could ask for. So from our weekly Sunday dinners, followed by hours of playing cards. You know, Skip-Bo, Uno, our favorite, we was busting some spades. You better believe it. Or just spending time together watching TV. This last Easter, we sat in my apartment and we watched, I looked it up until I found it to stream it. We watched The King and I. That was one of my mother's, she loved watching that movie. You know, we watched The King and I and we'd sit down and I mean, it's not boring to me anymore because I like watching it with my mom. Going to the movies. She liked to go to a lot of matinees by herself. Sorry, she didn't like doing that by herself. She liked doing it with Mr. Brown. But after he's gone, she did a lot of matinees still, but then she let me take her to the movies quite a few times too. She'd like to just go for a ride, whether it be up until 2021, I would still take her for a ride on Terry's Harley, or just ride in the 64. I don't know what it is about that old car. My Uncle Pat today, he sat in it, And he said just the smell of it, the feel of it, just something about that old car for our parents and all my friends' parents and things. It's just, man, it takes them back. Everybody had a 64 apparently. My mother and father had one they took on their honeymoon to Niagara Falls. They had a dark blue 64 Impala. So maybe that's why I had to have one, I don't know. But my mother was part of every aspect of my life. Even then, there's still times that she managed to surprise me. We got 66 years, which I don't think's enough. And I'm not going all the way back into my early childhood because we'd literally be here for a month or so. But just going back, she still surprised me on who she was. About 12 years ago, for instance, I realized my mother had acquired a love for sports. I had no idea. Alicia got some tickets for a Tigers game, and I think she had 3. What are we going to do? We want to go? I asked my mom, do you want to go to a Tigers game? I had never been. Hell yes, I want to go to a Tigers game. Yes. There was no questions asked. When I got my coat, let's go. We went to our first Tigers game together. It was so cool because now you see where I'm into the cars. I wasn't a sports nut. I root for the home team too. I don't give a damn about baseball. I know my Uncle Joe and my Uncle Pat used to have that stuff on the TV growing up, and I would listen to it. And I liked going to the game, and I liked getting the $6.50 hot dog. I don't give a damn about baseball. Well, my mom did. She didn't just like the things. She knew the players' names. She knew their stats. She loved some Mickey. Oh man, Mickey, not you, Mickey. She loved you too, though. But man, I took her to a Tigers game, and I seen her. She was in her element all of a sudden. She was having a great time. And at this point, Terry Brown was a little too far gone health-wise to he didn't want to go. I was going to pull him to the door, and he said, "Don't worry, I'll watch it on TV." He was content. But watch my mom do that. We went to several more games together, and she loved it. I kind of regret I didn't take her to one last year when I said I would. Not only did she like baseball, she loved football. My mom. My little Mary Delgado-Brown liked her something. It just blows me away because probably about 10 years ago, I started watching U of M. Brain, I'm sorry. Go Blue, baby. Started watching football with my buddy Bobby, and I don't think we've missed a game at all together, some form watching a game in several years. And I go over and my mom's got her state stuff on because that's where Brianna went to school. And she rode the home team. But I find out my mom liked football, and I'm starting to follow more. And I don't know as much as most guys do, but you know what? I know more about a car than you guys do, so who cares? But she loved football, and I discovered that by mentioning I was going to Bob and Michelle's for a Super Bowl party. And what it made it even more special is my mother and Michelle, they both like the same top shelf liquor. So Mama had fun at the Super Bowl party. Mama and Michelle, they was lit. I don't know if they remember the game, but they had a great time. From that point on, my mom was around for many of our college football, Super Bowl. You know, we didn't go to the games and tailgate like that, but you know, at Bobby's house, we'd have a football party, and she let me know, yes, I do want to come. You know what? I'm gonna go get Mom, and she's gonna be there. And we loved having her around. My car club buddies, she loved all of them. She loved being around them. What really made my mom happy was spending quality time together, especially around the holidays. She hosted her New Year's parties. Probably, I think, 2018 or 19, Mr. Brown was still here, but like me and Alicia and Jesse and Lacey, we went over there and we hung out with my mom and her friends for New Year's. I mean, it was great. She had her Thanksgiving dinners, her famous Christmas morning pancakes. And And of course, Easter dinner also during the cold months. And I call them Christmas pancakes. You see there's a picture on the screen that pops up, and it's got a stack of pancakes, some scrambled eggs, and some sausage and whatnot. My mom asked me, why do you call them Christmas pancakes? I'm like, because you only make them on Christmas. No, baby boy, no. I make them often. You only get them on Christmas. she made Terry some pancakes quite often. Apparently I got it, but they're special to me. They're Christmas pancakes. I'm pretty upset that I'm not going to get it this year. I know how to cook. I'm a damn good cook, but I can't make her pancakes. She absolutely loved cooking on the grill during the warm months. Sometimes even the cold months. It didn't have to be necessarily warm. It don't matter, it's raining. You could count on Mary having that charcoal grill fired up every Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, and every day in between. Several years ago, my mother purchased herself and I a matching charcoal grill. She said, Jimbo, I need you to pick me up in the truck. I need a grill. I need you to take me to get a grill. So we go to the store, and it was on sale. Can't pass up a sale. She said, how's your guys' grill? And we had a little round grill, a little old Weber. It cooked great, but it got really hot in the middle. And she said, grab 2 of them. I didn't get you a birthday present. Grab another one. Well, I had to put it together for her too, so. But we got matching grills, which of course I use mine as much as possible. When we just got our house a couple months ago, and it was a thing. It's been in my storage unit for a couple years, and I could not wait to start cooking on the grill again, because you can't do that in an apartment. Unless you got those. Anyway, so I use it as much as possible. I think I was cooking on it 3, maybe 4 times a week for the first several weeks, and right now I'm just kind of low on charcoal, and some of my friends have been reaching out to me for certain things sometimes, and I've been missing a lot of time with Bob and Michelle. That last year we spent a lot more time together, but they're fully understanding that I've just been spending more time with my mom recently because of how her health was declining. But I still use that grill quite a bit. And just 2 months ago, my mother purchased a new grill for herself again. And she had me come over. She said, Jimbo, I need you to come over. I got a grill in the Equinox. She had the guys at the store loaded up this time. And she said, I need you to unbox this and put it together. So I asked her, I said, did you upgrade your grill? Because I love my grill. There's nothing wrong with it. She said, no, it's the same one I already had. Okay, why do you want 2 of the same grills? I don't get that. So I had to ask her, I said, Mom, why did you buy the same one you already had? And she replied to me, Jimbo, go look at my grill. She loved cooking on that grill so much, you guys, she cooked the bottom out of it. And just the other day, she told me it was okay, but I kind of just mowed around it for the last few months and whatnot. But I finally took it out to the road, and taking it out to the road, oh my God, you guys see that fall apart. And it's not because it wasn't loved. She cooked through the metal. The steel is gone. So to anyone in attendance today who was lucky enough to have eaten my mother's food, you know how good of a cook she was. Grammy put her foot in it. She inspired me to learn how to cook just like her, so I've been taking notes. And we just love good food so much that if neither of us felt like cooking, we sought out some good food. And it didn't have to be a special occasion for us to drive an hour to go up to the turkey roost and get some turkey. And I didn't discover that with her until 2020. And come to find out, she went as a young kid with my father's family. The turkey roost in Caucoma is what's up, you guys. Miguel, we need to go. Boy, I'm telling you, a turkey plate. Some of her local favorites that she, with company or by herself, she had no shame to eat by herself. Grandma's Recipe, Whitey's, Dom's Diner, and of course, she loved Cocino Mio on Davison Road, La Azteca, El Especial, Latinas. My favorite place to take her is love taking her to Texas Roadhouse. Come on, Mama, let's go get a steak. Did a lot of birthday celebrations for her and Terry there because she'd always get her a margarita. She'd tell the waitress, just tell them to throw my steak on there, kind of get it hot on one side, hot on the other side, and bring it out. Come on. I don't know how, I think she called it, I don't know what kind of style it is, but I don't know. Going back to my childhood, my mother did the very best she could raising me as her son. And as I transitioned into adulthood, that bond turned into genuine friendship. She didn't hang out with me because she just wanted to be included. She hung out with me because she genuinely enjoyed being part of my life. And some of the things we're gonna miss. I'm gonna get through it, I'm almost done, you guys. Some of the things I'm gonna miss most now that she's not here to enjoy with me. We didn't get to go this year, but a few years ago we started going to Wednesday night in the park out in Spalding Township. Every Wednesday for 5 weeks. It's just a little small town get together, live music, elephant ears, taco truck, just all the good little things you would want in a small community. Well, me and some of our car club brothers, we'd go up there, take our cars, and we'd ruin that show. See us come. But last year we actually had an Elvis impersonator there. And my mom loved every bit of that. He did a little bit of Johnny Cash too. He was a really good. So all of their music stuff out there, it was just fun. 4th of July fireworks. Jamie knows, and I don't know if Brianna and Ashley can remember, but my mom taught me at a very early age. My mom and dad, they'd take us to go watch fireworks, and when they would go off, my mom's so sweet. She'd go, ooh. And then the next one, ah. I still do that. I don't even care about fireworks, but I go because I know my mom likes fireworks. This year she couldn't go with us. She just didn't have the energy, so I made sure I recorded the grand finale, and I didn't know I had to do three-minute videos to do it, but I put it on her page so she could watch it from home. I'm gonna miss being asked to change the light bulbs at her house. Come over and add salt to the water softener. I think she had Brianna do it a couple times, and those bags get kind of heavy. My daily good morning text. Before noon, each day, every day, for thousands of messages. Once Terry was gone, my mom seemed kind of alone. And even though I text her a little bit here and there, probably several times a week, I realized that wasn't good enough. I need to start doing this every single day. So every day, good morning, Mom, happy Monday, happy Taco Tuesday, the sun's shining, rain's coming, whatever. Good morning, James, I love you, have a great day. Getting a call from my mom asking if I had eaten yet. You know, we got that just like Jeff Foxworth. Did you eat yet? Or on my late night Thursdays, everybody knows what's James doing Thursday. His ass is working until 8 p.m. No matter where I work until 8 on Thursdays. Even back at Duke's, I think it was 7. Receiving a message from my mom via text, knowing on Thursdays that I'm at work, you need to stop over and get some leftovers. Cook on that. You see there's a picture of the slab of ribs up there and some hot dogs and 5 bratwurst. I was a picky eater. I am a picky eater. My mom would cook a whole slab of ribs, and depending on how many people are eating, she cut 3, maybe 4 bones off the end. And those, you can't have those ones. Those are for Jimbo. Those don't have sauce on them. Hearing her voice say, I love you. Watching her cheat at cards. Oh, cheat and ask Graham. Brandon knows, oh, cheat and ask Graham. But in actuality, she didn't really cheat. She was just way better than we are at cards. And you knew Mary had it. She's holding her hand like this, and she's looking at you. Put the card down, come on. She flipped that card on the table, and you knew it was over with. Good, cut your books up, you're done. Hearing her and my sister laugh at the same time. You almost couldn't tell them apart, but you knew something was pretty damn funny when you hear them both. I'm not being insulting, but man, it was just a laugh for me, Jamie. So, just hearing that, oh my goodness. After asking for some advice and asking my mom to choose one option or another, hey Mom, General Motors called me to go back to work, but I love working with Donnie. What do I do, Mom? I can't answer that for you, James. You're gonna have to make your own choice. I can't answer that. She was afraid that if she answered it for me and gave me the wrong answer, she didn't want that. So you're gonna have to make your own choice. But she always told me, it doesn't matter. As long as you're happy. Do what makes you happy. So I never went back to General Motors. I stayed where I was at, where I was happy. And then Donnie sold the company. Jesus, Donnie. And this kind of ties into with what Jamie was saying. I don't know if we were syncing when we wrote this. Our conversations on our road trips. So in depth. And just like my sister said, I don't even have to repeat it. It's just, you discover now that you're an adult who your mother really was. How she got through some things. You know, I don't know if this is embarrassing, but I don't care, but pretty much grew up poor. We're the lower end of middle class, whatever you want to call it. I never knew this shit. Never knew it. She did any and everything to provide for me. My sister, I didn't go without. Never went without. I begged her for a pair of Jordans in 7th grade. They were $157 advertised. It's the only pair of Jordans I've ever received brand new. And hopefully Bentley understands how important it is. I got him some for Christmas this year. Shoes shouldn't cost that much. My mom didn't have that much. She didn't have it. So I stole it. No, I was kidding. We went to Dunham's over on Corona Road, and the Shaq shoe had just came out, and they had one on display as like a size 22 Instagram. But I got those Jordan 8s. And my mom said, "Are you sure that's what you want, Jimbo?" "Yeah, that's what I want." So she bought them without question. She got me those Jordans. And like an asshole, I got a growth spurt. I couldn't fit them about 3 months later. But my mother did not know, because I shoved my foot in that shoe and wore it until it was done. I ended up having to cut the front of that shoe off and wear it. Got ingrown toenails, had to have surgery, everything. It was bad. But I didn't want to disappoint my mom for spending all that money. And on those car rides, that led to some of the funniest moments ever, just the experience of the car rides. And I'm going to wrap this up by telling you this short story, guys. I'm sorry I'm not taking so long. Could go on forever about my mom. Let me just tell you a short story about our most recent trip with my mother in July of 2023. We made a trip from Flint to Kansas City for Cameron and Connor's wedding. And if you're like me, you guys like Taco Bell. And you know the app's the way to go. You get on the online exclusives, you get those $5 boxes, which now that this was last year, now it's 7, so I'm boycotting. So you get on the app, you get the $5 create your own cravings box, and on the way there, we pull up to the Taco Bell to get refueled in our belly. Lindsay, Brianna, and I, we order a build your own $5 box. What you want? We're ready. My mom, after much thought and consideration, by the way, she worked at Taco Bell for like 15 years. And after studying the menu there for a moment, she opted to select about $12 worth of a la carte selections. That $5 box. Her $12 worth of food included like one of the worst examples of pintos and cheese I've ever seen in my life, and I worked there too, so I know. I was like, "Mom, do you want me to take that back up? Do you remember those pintos, Brianna? You want me to take that back up? I'm gonna get it right," because they was bad, you guys. It was a clump of like out of the disher, and they were hard, they were dry. It was sad. She said, no, I didn't take it back up. She took her chip and put it in there, and it broke. I was ready to burn that Taco Bell so bad. If David would have been there, there'd have been calls made. Well, that was the highlight on the way there. That little small thing, it gets better. That was the highlight of the trip on the way there. But it doesn't compete with on the return trip home. For example, we don't have any Waffle Houses in the state of Michigan, and that's my mother's favorite place to stop outside of the state. I don't know why. She likes it scattered and splattered, smothered and covered, whatever. No, she just likes Waffle House. So the morning of our return trip, she insisted that we stop at the Waffle House before the long trek home, even though she had already eaten a continental breakfast in the hotel before we left, which we didn't know. Jimbo, you're gonna stop at Waffle House. Okay. So there we are, bellies up to that bar at the Waffle House, first thing in the morning, ready to order our breakfast. Lindsay and I knew exactly what we wanted after a quick glance. And after much thought and consideration, my mom finally made her choice and placed her order. Then a few minutes, we had our breakfast and began to eat. I mean, they threw the plates down quick. And I noticed my mom only had a couple of eggs on her plate. I'm eating my food, I look over, and the waitress comes over to apologize to my mom and explain that her food would take a bit of a wait there, which sparked me to inquire, Mom, what did you order? She ordered off the long menu, not the little one they bring out to you. She replied to me, pork chops. Damn, pork chops.
She always ordered pork chops for breakfast, I knew that.
They're not on the regular menu. The waitress told us they had to be thawed out. So while we waited for our breakfast, pork chops, I actually started getting hungry for lunch. We waited there for a hot minute. And after a highly anticipated wait, the pork chops finally arrived, to which my mother then asked the waitress, can you put this in a to-go box? I heard that, I looked at her and I said, Mom, like, me and my mom, we were really, there was no disrespect there, but I questioned her, you know. I said, Mom, what are you doing? And she looked at me in my optic nerves, and she said, I wanted them for later. I already ate breakfast. No problem, Mom, we only got 13 hours left, we're good. You know, she said, I wanted them for later. I already had breakfast. What are you guys upset about? We had 13 hours of road and approximately, my rough estimate is 50 Waffle House locations between there and the border of Michigan before we got home that we could have stopped at for lunch. But like Pam said, apparently she likes pork chops for breakfast. So now I had to ask my mom, worked for the dealership. We drove, I think, a $54,000 fully loaded Traverse with a nice, beautiful leather interior that I was putting the final miles on that once I got back, it was sold to the next customer, you know, as a discounted demo. So I got this very plush, nice vehicle outside. I said, Mom, why did you order the pork chops when you weren't going to eat them? She looked me in my eyeballs. She says, oh, I'm gonna eat them. Mind you, I borrowed this vehicle, it's not mine. Don't worry, I'm gonna eat them in the car. And one thing about my mom, she didn't have any reason to lie to me. It was about 2 to 3, and I'm worried about food safety at this point, but about 2 to 3 hours later, she's in the back seat two-fisting those pork chops. Believe it or not, that wasn't the end or the best part. Several hours had passed, and now it's time for dinner. We got off in Dayton, Ohio. It's about 4 hours away from home. And I'm stopping for bathroom breaks and whatnot. So we find ourselves in Dayton, Ohio. We were 4 hours from home, and I get off at the exit and fill up with gas, and I ask my mom, what would you like to grab for dinner? And it's always been, we would try to accommodate her because I really don't care. I'll eat whatever. And she looked at like the nearest place and she just replied to me, how about Tropical Smoothie Cafe? Has anybody eaten dinner at Tropical Smoothie? Anybody raise a hand? Anybody? Brianna. So I just looked last night to see, because I found out, I guess they do have food, but you guys know me, I'm not eating a Tropical Smoothie, I got nothing for me there. So you guys know me like I thought she did, that's not really an option. But we're in luck, right next door they had a Wendy's. Now keep in mind, this is dinner, and we're in the borrowed, fully loaded Traverse. So you know what, I made that call, we're gonna go inside and eat. That way we're not inside getting our burger grease and the chili or whatever in the car. So we walk up to the counter. Lindsay and I know exactly what we wanted. Pretty easy, just give it number 2. And after much thought and consideration, I don't know, look at that menu for a minute. She decided to go with the taco salad. Has anybody had a taco salad at Wendy's? Okay. I didn't know Wendy's had a taco salad. Because if you haven't, what they give you is a cup of chili, container with some salad blend, apparently, signature salsa, light sour cream, and some taco chips, they call it. At that point, you go to your table and you begin to build your very own taco salad. Meanwhile, because I was the only driver on this trip, I was looking forward to a quick bite to get back on the road. Therefore, I inhaled my cheeseburger and my fries. Nearing the completion of my burger, I noticed that my mom was still in the process of building her taco salad. Lindsay and I shared a look of utter disbelief when we realized we wouldn't be back on the road anytime soon. And we sat, got a refill and returned to my seat, found my mother finally enjoying her taco salad. And when I say she enjoyed her taco salad, Jamie, let me tell you, Mom enjoyed that taco salad. One taco chip at a time. My mother, pardon me, she had 0 F's at that point to give about anybody. She didn't even realize she was one at a time, and we sat and watched her until she consumed every morsel of that taco salad. So now you can see why I'm gonna miss her so much. I hope that some of you are going to want to get up here after I'm done and share some of your stories of my mom with us, because we would love to hear them. Thank you all again for being here. She loved each and every person in this room. That's all I had written down. Like I said, I could have went on, and I'm sorry that it went as long as I did. When I say my mom loved you guys, she really, really loved you guys. The picture that just went by on the screen. Oh man. I could be up here all day, you guys, but I'm gonna miss her, and I'm not ready to let her go. So what are you gonna do? Thank everybody. I just want to thank you guys. I mean, I know it's just words, right? But you don't understand how sincerely grateful I am that you guys are here for me and my sister and the rest of my family. In respect and just how much you guys cared for my beautiful mother. And I've said it several times already, and I'm not being cocky about it. And nobody on this planet can't tell me that my mom wasn't beautiful, inside and out.